so glad. Yes, I'm so glad that you guys are available and can chat today. I just finished a consultation and my client brought me some C's. So I had to dig into that really quick before I jumped on here. I guess she's a sales rep for C's. So that was nice. Hi! Good to see you guys. Hi. Okay, so I wanted to come on today and talk to you guys about kids and how to get kids to smile and give us the expressions that we want during our photo shoots and just all around make the photo shoot a lot of fun. I've got a bag of tricks, like literally a bag of tricks. So I wanted to kind of go over that with you guys and show you what I bring on photo shoots. So really quick, if you can, really quick, if you can just type in the comment box and let me know if you are a kids photographer, if you do photograph children, if this is a main niche for you, or if this is just something you kind of do sporadically, because I kind of like to know where everybody's at. You are? Okay, good. Yes. Okay. Okay, good. Good. All right, so really quick, I'll just give you a little background about me. Yes, and teens. Okay, good. I know a lot of you, so a lot of you know my past, but I'll tell you a little bit. Just my nephews for now, but I want to photograph more families. Okay, good. Families and friends, also. Okay, good. I'm going to give you a little bit of background on me really quick for those who don't know me or anyone who's jumping in on the replay. My name is Gretchen Adams. I run a portrait photography studio here in the San Francisco Bay Area. I've been in business for about 16 years, and family and kids are my main niche. I do other little things too. I do some maternity and business headshots, and actually do a lot of high school seniors, but families and kids are really what pays my bills, okay? And I also teach within the photography industry to other photographers who are also looking to run a boutique business model, meaning low volume, high quality of service and experience for their clients, okay? All right, so let's just dive in really quickly. And I wrote some notes for myself, so I'm sorry I'm going to look at my notes, but I tend to ramble if I don't have an agenda written out for myself, and I want to be able to be as consistent as I can for you guys. Okay, so really quick, let me ask you, what do you think the most difficult age to photograph is? Like, what's your experience been? What do you think is the most difficult? Come on. There you go. 1 to 3. 3. Yeah, they say terrible 2s, treacherous 3s. 1. Yeah, as soon as they start walking. Kids, 8-ish. Preteen. All right, wrong. It was a trick question. They're all hard. No, I'm just kidding. Kids are really easy. It's the 45-year-old husbands that are hard. But I have some tricks for them too. But let's just talk really quick about kids. 18 months. Yeah. Okay. I have two little tricks up my sleeve that help a lot with kid sessions. One is my treasure box. Do you guys have a treasure box? This is my treasure box. I don't know if you can really see it. For size reference here, it's about 2 times the size of my head. So what this is, and you can get these like at craft stores, things like that. This is probably from like Michael's or something. I keep it stocked with just little goodies that I pick up at different places like the dollar store or the craft store. Things like, this is like a little bubble purse. They're all things that are just a couple of dollars. I don't know what this is. A chicken, he's got candy in it. Oh, my son loves this. It's some kind of little ball game. You gotta like get the ball to go through the basket, and it like lights up and makes a bunch of noise when you do. Bubbles in a car, all kinds of just fun stuff. Pens. So what I do with this, and all of my repeat clients know that I have this, and the kids really look forward to it. But what I do with this is I keep it in the trunk of my car, and I pull it out at the beginning of the shoot. So usually, you meet in the parking lot or wherever you're going to shoot. And, kids always get out of the car and they're like, they're mad about something, or, they're just not feeling it. Kids don't always, usually get out of the car and be like, oh, yay, I've been waiting for this all day, So usually they're in some sort of mood when they pull up, and I kind of expect it. And so I'll go over to them and I'll say, hey, did your mom tell you about my treasure box? And hopefully the mom has told them something about it, because I do talk to them about it at the consultation. And then I'll pull it out and I go, this is my treasure box. And I'll open it up slowly and I'll go, at the end of the session, if you've been a really good listener, you'll get to pick a prize from the treasure box. And then they'll lean in and they'll try to reach for it, and I'll shut it really quick. And I'll say, now remember, if you've been a good listener, you'll get to pull something out of here at the end of this session, okay? It's important to not let them get too close of a look, because then part of the magic is gone. You know, they have to kind of be imagining that there's like, I don't know, like iPads and stuff in here. You know, it's all little toys, but don't let them get too close of a look, or else then the excitement goes away and they're like, it's not, you know, anything really I want in there. You know, so there is cool stuff, but you know what I mean. You just want to give them a little taste, but don't let them get too close of a look, okay? And then I put it back in my car. I don't carry it around through the session. It's heavy. And I don't want to have to babysit it to make sure the kids aren't getting in it. So I put it back in the car, but I'll keep mentioning it during the session. So if I feel like they're starting to fade, or I'm starting to lose them a little bit, I'll say things like, remember the treasure box? You know, like little things to like pull them back in and get them focused again. I'll also use it to joke around with them. So like, let's say we're doing like a large family setup and everybody's all in position, and I need the kids to stay where they are, and I've got everybody positioned exactly where I want them, and I'm just trying to elicit smiles from everybody. You know, I may be back at my camera saying things like, say treasure box, and, you know, scream it, treasure box, you know, and stuff like that. So it's just a good bribe. But one thing about this, though, that is important is you want to make sure that your clients are okay with you giving their kids bribes. I've never met a parent who was not cool with it, because, you know, let's face it, the reality is that people are a little worried that their kids are going to, you know, misbehave during the shoot or whatever. So, you know, parents are willing to do whatever it takes to get their kids to behave. But you just want to make sure, like, I'll ask at the consultation, I'll tell them about the treasure box, and I'll ask, like, you know, do your kids have any allergies? You know, I've got a lot of stuff in my treasure box for them, you know, Pez, things like that. Is there anything they're not allowed to have? You know, just ask questions like that. And I'll also ask the parents specific questions. Obviously, we're talking about the kids a lot at the consultation, so I'll ask a lot of questions about their kids' personalities, what they're into, and stuff like that. And if they tell me something like, oh, he's really into Batman right now, or something like that, then I'll go find something at the dollar store. Okay, good. I'll go find something at the dollar store that's Batman related or something like that to put in the box. So I've got a little bit more of an incentive for them. Like, I may even say during the shoot, like, hey, I hear you like Batman. I think I've got some Batman stickers in my treasure box. Isn't that cool? You know, things like that. So first of all, it keeps the kids excited, but it also shows the parents that you're really listening and you really care about, you know, making this a good experience for their kids. So, you know, and these things only cost a few dollars. And I'll tell you, my clients, like I mentioned, that I will shoot over and over again, the kids love this and they look forward to it, and they'll remember what they got last time. Like, I'll have kids all the time say, remember when I got that pink elephant or whatever? And I'm like, yeah. I don't know. You know, this stuff changes out all the time. But, you know, the kids, it means a lot to them. It's like, you know, when you go to the dentist and you get to go through that drawer of goodies. It's kind of like that. Okay. And I'll also, I'll put things that are specific to the kids, like I said, that I'm shooting for that session in here. And then I may pull them back out if, you know, it's another kid or whatever. Because I want enough stuff in here that they can rummage through, but not too much stuff. So I actually have a big box in here full of treasure box stuff. So when I need to restock it, I'll go through and put different things in there. Okay? All right. And then I'm going to go through my little bag of tricks too. I still secretly hope to be offered a sticker of the dentist. You can ask, Heather. You should take them, then you could put them in your treasure box for your clients. I want to back up for 1 second and tell you guys a little bit more about my pre-photography experience. I, in college, studied early childhood education and child psychology because I really thought that that was the path I was going to go with my life. You know, I do have a lot of experience in working with kids, or studying kids, but what I really draw the most from is actually when I was 19 years old, working as a summer camp counselor. Okay, we learned a lot of, you know, really great tips for kids about how to keep them engaged, how to keep them happy, but at the same time keep things moving and get them doing what you want them to do. So I was a director, a program director. What age do you offer the treasure box to? The treasure box is good basically for walkers on up to about 12. But you never want to assume, what do you cry? Okay, I'll get to that. That's a good one. You never want to assume that a kid is too old for this. It's kind of like assuming your kid is too old for trick-or-treating, Unless they're, 15 or something. I'm still going to say, hey, I got a little treasure box. You want to go through it and see if there's anything you like in there? Stuff like that. So I don't want to assume that someone's too old for this stuff. It just kind of depends. Hope that answered your question. What was I going to tell you about? I was a camp counselor and activity director too. Yeah. So also I want to mention that I have kids. So I have a 10-year-old son with autism. So that has really trained me on how to work with kids with special needs and how to really enjoy it and look forward to working with kids with special needs. And I also have a 15-year-old daughter, a freshman in high school. So I'm also very experienced with the surly, uncooperative, would rather be anywhere but here teenager. So bring me your kids. They're not more difficult than my own. But I'll tell you something that's really important. As a photographer, we have so much on our plates while we're photographing. We have to not only be, proficient with our equipment and obviously know how to use it and how to produce a aesthetically pleasing image, but we also have to know about lighting. We have to know about posing. We have to know how to coordinate the scene with the outfits and the outfits with the house and all this stuff. And then on top of it, while we're trying to do all of this, we also have to make sure that everyone's having a good time. It's like being a cruise director. So it's a lot of stuff to be going on at once. But in my opinion, as a mom, nothing trumps engagement. Okay? I've been doing in-person sales for 16 years, and I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, engagement and expression is the most important decision on whether a parent buys one portrait over another. I don't care if it's poorly lit. I don't care if they have dirt on their face. It's that engagement. So we have to be getting that engagement from our kids that are in front of our camera. And let me show you something. My son, as I mentioned, he has autism, right? So he's not the easiest kid to photograph. But he has certain triggers. And if somebody took the time to get to know him, they would know, what his triggers are and what gets a great expression from him. But let me show you what you get from him if you don't know his triggers. Isn't that awesome? That's his school picture this year. And my kid is a super cute kid. I mean, he's a gorgeous kid. But without engagement, I know, right? Oh, no! Oh, he'll die if he knew that I showed this. But that's what you get if you don't work on engagement with your subjects, right? You have to be able to engage them and get that expression that, a parent will look at and go, oh, that's my kid. That's the face I love. So we really have to work on that. And I know that for people who don't photograph kids a lot, it can be a little intimidating. A lot of it comes from just being comfortable with kids and being okay with being goofy and making a fool out of yourself, okay? We kind of have to just, when we go into a shoot, just go for it, and who cares who's watching, and just, turn it on and be a clown. But there's also a lot of tools that I use that help with that, so I want to kind of go through them with you. So this is my bag of tricks. It's a backpack that goes on our shoots with us. And when I say with us, it's myself and my husband. So my husband comes on every outdoor shoot, and he assists. And I have to admit, he is way funnier than me. And so we play that, we play off of each other like that. Like I'll be the, serious photographer, and he'll be the one behind me being goofy and stuff. And it works really well. But I'm really good at reading kids. So I can point him in the right direction and say things like, hey, tone it down, you're freaking him out, or whatever. Whereas he'll just, he can turn on a switch and he just goes, and I have to say dial it back or amp it up or, whatever It's hard to just like turn it on and be funny. There have been times we'll show up for a shoot and I'll go, okay, get ready, 3 kids. And he's like, oh, I don't feel funny today. I'm like, oh, no, you don't get a choice. It's happening now. We got to do it. So anyways, let me show you my bag of tricks. I want to start with, let me look at what I want to tell you guys here. I'm going to start with babies, okay? Because I was just talking to someone, Heather, I think it might have been you, yesterday online about babies and what to use and what not to use. The trick with babies is you don't want to use toys, because if you show, like, say, a 9-month-old or a 1-year-old or something, a brightly colored toy, they're going to want it. And now you've got it in your portrait. You may pull something out and be like, oh, hey, squeak, squeak, squeak. And then they're like, ah, ah. And now you got to give it to them, And when you take it away, they cry. So I don't use any toys for babies whatsoever. And if parents show up and go, oh, I brought their favorite toys, I say, oh, I'm really glad you thought of that. But actually, we're gonna stick those away, because if we pull them out, they're gonna want them. So we're just gonna use our voices and things like that they can't actually touch to get the expressions we want. And then they get it. Okay, so what do I use with babies? Okay, a couple of things here. All right. First of all, I use tape, okay? I like to get a lot of variety in my sessions, because I like to do things like 9-up frames and stuff like that, where there's lots of little faces and their heads are at different angles and stuff. Like, hold on, here's one that is going to someone. This is getting picked up in a few days. So this is a 9-up of one of their babies, and here's their other, because they have twins. And so I'll want little faces where they're looking different directions and stuff like that. So I put a little piece of tape, smaller than this, on their toe. And that way, they'll touch their toes and they'll try to get it off. So they'll focus just on that. And they won't cry. They'll just look down and be, like touching, like, what is this? And trying to get it off. And because it's clear, it's really easy to retouch out if any of it shows at all. So just use a little piece. I'll also use this if I have siblings. And let's say you want the baby, like twins here, right? I wanted them holding hands. So I put a little tape on one baby's hand, and the other baby's trying to get it off. Okay? So little things like that, simple stuff. And then when they take it off, quickly pull it away, because you don't want it to go in the mouth, because that's what happens, right? They touch something, it goes right in the mouth. Okay? So pull it away. Along those same lines, I use stickers a lot. But then does the baby look at the camera? I don't always want them looking at the camera. These are for when I want them looking down. And so I sell a lot of variety in one shoot, and I can't sell the same image 30 times. So I can't sell them smiling at the camera 30 times. So I want to, get those big smiles, get soft, soulful expressions, and then get different angles, like eyelashes looking down, profiles, things like that. Okay? So that's for the tape I use for when I want them to engage with another kid, or maybe touch a prop, or look in a certain area. Wherever the tape goes is where the hand's going to go, and is where the eyes are going to go, okay? And you can, like, if you want them to touch a basket or something, you can put some tape on the basket, and this works with toddlers too. You can put some tape on the basket, put their hand on it so they recognize that it's there, and they start playing with it, and then you get their attention, go, hey, and then they look at you, and there's your shot. So their hand is where you want them, but they're looking at you all engaged, okay? I use stickers kind of the same way. I use these a lot with older kids who recognize that they're stickers, or recognize that they're images, okay? So I'll do a lot of images like of kids like looking into flowers and think, yeah, you got to pull it away from them. As soon as they get it off, take it away. And the mom is a great spotter. Use her, I say, she's got it, pull it away, and just, use the mom to help you with stuff. Anyway, so I'll use these for if I want kids to do things like, if we're outside and I want them to look in a flower or something like that, I'll take off a sticker and I'll put it inside a flower. I'll find the bush where I want him, and I'll go, can you go find the ladybug? Where do you think it is? Where's the ladybug? Oh, is he in there? Oh, can you touch him? And that gets them to engage with something that ordinarily they may not be interested in. This also works for if there's an arbor or a gate and you want them to have their hand on it. You can put a sticker on there, and you can, what I do sometimes is I'll be secretive about it, like I'll say to the kid, I'll be like, come here. Let's go over to that gate, and we're going to take one of these little froggies, and we're going to put him on the gate. Shh, don't tell Mommy. And we'll put it on. Okay, now cover it up. Put your hand up. Don't show Mommy. I don't want Mommy me to see it. Cover it up. And then I'll get back at the camera and be like, okay, keep it covered. Don't let her see. Don't let her see. So then it's a game and they're having fun, but their hand is where you want them. I'll also use this for maternity portraits. If I've got a toddler and I want her hands on mommy's belly, but she doesn't really understand that there's a baby in there, so you can't really say like, oh, touch the baby, your baby's sister's in there. They don't get it. Put a sticker on her belly and go, where's the ladybug? Can you point to the ladybug? Can you put your hand on the ladybug? Cover it up so mommy doesn't see it. And these are so small, you can easily retouch them out, okay? I'd rather retouch and get the expression that I want and to make it fun for the kids. You know, I depend on repeat business all the time. So I want these kids having a great time. So the next time they come around, they're excited. A lot of my clients will say like, oh, so-and-so wanted to come back for their portrait session. Like they love coming in because it's a lot of fun. They don't really realize what's going on, that it's work, you know. The mom and I are the ones that are sweating. They're having a good time. Okay, so stickers. Other thing with babies. I use a duster, and it's a long one. I think I got this at IKEA. It's really long, and that's why it works so well. Babies and toddlers can have stranger danger. So if you're too close to them, it freaks them out once they get to a certain age. So this is great for tickling toes, but not crossing that invisible barrier where you're now too close to them and they're freaking out, okay? So when I'm doing, for example, these twins, they were about 9 months old. So they're naked, they're sitting up, you know, butts to the camera, looking over their shoulder, and I've got them on a background that's a blanket, right? So I can do things like go, I'm going to get you, and do a little tickle, just enough that they think it's funny and it's not scary. Never at the face, and not really at the belly. You want to keep it low, toes, bottom, things like that, really nice and low. And you don't even have to touch them. You can just get it close and be like, I'm going to get you, I'm going to get you, and they think it's really funny. And it's not too exciting that they're like, oh, I have to have it. Give me the duster. Okay, so it's kind of a perfect little tool. Okay, so that's something I use with babies. What else works with babies? Bubbles, obviously, bubbles. So I've got a couple different bubble things. This is my big bubble guy. So I've got a big bubble guy, mostly for outside because it makes huge bubbles. But I also have my little bubbles for in the studio. Where are they at? Where are you, Bubbles? Ah, here they are. I keep them in a plastic bag because they tend to leak. Okay. All right. Now, as they get a little older, you can start using things that are funny that they're not going to want to grab right away. So those are things like, for instance, my all-time favorite, my blue pig. I don't know why this is so freaking funny, but kids love this thing. I've had this for I don't know how many years. It's a dog toy. And they think it is hilarious. You can squeeze it a little bit. Do you? It's just the best little toy. You squeeze it a little bit, and it makes a little noise. Or you can squeeze it really hard. It makes a big noise. So it is so... Oh, my kids literally just came in to see what that was. It's the blue pig. You can get it at PetSmart, I think. Kids love this thing. Matter of fact, when I'm done with the kids portion of the session, they're usually trying to get this out of my bag. They love it. I need to pick up another one in case this ever disappears. I also have, as far as squeaky toys go, this monkey, but he's not as funny. I don't know why. I think he's cute and funny, but the kids like this. Go figure. I mean, I have never seen a kid over the age of 4 not think this was hilarious. All right, so like I said, I have my husband with me too, and he's the best tool prop there is because he'll stand behind me and he'll use things like this over my head and stuff like that. Oh, your dog came over. Hey, here you go. So, oh, and I've got some other stuff that's super noisy. I've got a horn. I won't squeak it. Actually, I can't even remember the last time I ever used this. We also have a puppet. This is fun because my husband will make it mess with me, like make it mess up my hair and, you know, stand on my head and things like that, and kids think it's hilarious. And that's kind of our go-to trick too, is the mess with the photographer trick. And sometimes I may forget the bag. I mean, there are times it would show up and I don't have the bag with me. You know, stuff happens. And I'll just tell my husband, get a stick. And he'll go behind me, and what I say is I'll get everybody all, you know, in position. I'll usually use this when I'm doing a big group, you know, like 4 family members or bigger. I'll get everybody in position, then I'll be like, okay, now, I I need to concentrate here. Let's be really serious. I usually have my hair in a pony because I have long hair and it gets in the way. So I'll just pull my pony out and be like, okay, let's be really serious here. I need to get this done. The sooner we get this done, the sooner we can all get out of here. And that's kind of Buck's cue, my husband's cue. So he'll come up behind me and he'll be like, and he'll get a stick and he'll like mess up my hair and I'll be shooting. I'll be like, knock it off, stop. Buck, stop it. And he'll like pretend he's licking my ear and the kids are all just cracking up. Now, it doesn't work with little kids because they don't understand that teasing can be funny. If you've got like a 3-year-old, they think teasing is just mean. So if you've got a little kid in the group, this, mess with the photographer thing doesn't work very well because they'll instead look at you and go, oh, don't, leave her alone, leave her alone. So kind of it backfires if they're too little. This is for a little bit older kids, okay? So here's another trick, bubble wrap. Okay, who doesn't love bubble wrap? So I'll use this for, like I'd say 7 to 10 range when you need kids to be in a certain area. And, it's not a free-for-all. We're designing portraits here, and I need you in a certain area because I need the bend of the tree the right way behind you, and I'm positioning dogs around you and whatnot. You need them to be in a certain area. I'll put bubble wrap down. Like, let's say they're going to sit down somewhere. I'll put the bubble wrap down, and I'll go, I want you to sit on the bubble wrap. Don't pop it. Don't pop any of them. Just sit on it, okay? Do you think you can sit on it? You can sit on it and not pop any. When we're all done, I'll let you have it, okay? So then they'll sit on it, and inevitably they're like, and I'm like, I heard you. But it keeps them in one spot and not running around because bubble wrap's fun. I'll do the same thing with coins. So I'll take I'll always have quarters and things like that with me. And I'll take a quarter and I'll be like, all right, I want you to stand on this corner. And I'll put it down. I'll put your foot on it. Hide it. Don't let anybody see it. You can keep that thing hidden. When we're all done, I'll let you have it, okay? Don't let anybody see it, though. Keep it under your foot, okay? And it's a silly thing, but it really works, okay? Pez. I always have Pez with me. And again, I ask the parents before the consultation, is it okay if I give your kids candy? Nobody cares. They just want, they want the shot. It's like, you can get whatever you want. Just, get them happy. So I keep Pez with me, and I give them Pez throughout the shoot. And I love Pez because it's fun for them to take the candy out. It's easy. It's not messy. So it's not like something that's going to get chocolate all over them or take them a long time to eat. And it's still kind of to us, it's not a novelty because we grew up with this, but to a lot of kids, this is a cool thing that they don't get a lot, Kids don't really have a lot of, Pez dispensers anymore. So it's fun. So I have these in my treasure box as well, but I always have one in my camera bag. This is a new one, so it's not open. But I always have it in my camera bag, loaded up, ready to go. And I'll keep, going over and be like, oh, you're doing so good. You're doing so good. Here, you get a Pez. You get a Pez. Okay, and I'll run back, So I just keep them engaged with things like that throughout the shoot. All right, what else have we got in here? I bring a broom. This shouldn't be in here. It's supposed to be in another bag, but for sweeping stuff up if I want them to sit down somewhere and it's kind of dirty, okay? All right. So that's it for the actual tools, but you don't need a lot of this stuff. You can get engagement with kids just by your voice. Think of it as, you're, orchestrating an ensemble and you're controlling the tempo, okay? So you control the tempo of the shoot with the way you're talking and what you're saying and how you're engaging with kids. It's much like sales, in the sales appointment, except you want them to mirror you. So you're setting the tempo for how you want them to act. So if you want to, amp them up and you want to get a lot of excitement from them, then you're going to amp it up and you're going to show a lot of excitement. And if you want to bring them back down so you can just get nice, peaceful, soulful expressions, then you're going to talk a little quieter and you're going to be a little slower in your actions and things like that so that they can model what you're doing, okay? So a lot of this stuff you can get with kids by just modeling what you want them to do, okay? All right. How do you handle kids that cry? I don't get kids that cry. Why are they crying? If you make it happy, if you make it fun, there shouldn't be any tears. Sometimes kids will start off upset because mom and dad have put too much pressure on them. For instance, I had one recently. We were up in the just waking up. Don't schedule it right around waking up time then. like make sure that it's at the time of day where they're going to be their best. But I have had parents show up with kids that have just woken up from a nap or whatever. Oh wait, I want to go back and tell you about one that just happened. So I had one in the wine country, and this will make sense to you then because it's about clothes. So we meet up in the wine country, and the mom and I had went shopping together and picked all the outfits. And for one of the kids, we had a sweater and like a puffy vest, and we really needed the vest because it made the whole collection make sense. It tied everything together. And when we get there, he's crying. He was her oldest, but I think he's like 4 or 5 or something. I can't remember. Little guy. And she says he doesn't want to wear the vest. And the husband's over there trying to force it on him, and he's crying. And I said, let him be. It's fine. He doesn't have to wear it. Don't worry about it. Just let me handle it. So we go over to where we're shooting, and I photograph him without the vest, but we bring the vest. So, I've got him, and I tell parents and this is in my welcome kit too, to warn them, when I'm working with your kid, just let me work, let me do what I need to do, and just, back off and trust that I'm watching for the expressions, and I'm not going to stop until I get what we need. So don't worry, I'm going to get the expressions. You don't have to, micromanage. But anyway, so I'll start, talking to the kid, and I'm engaging him, and I'm telling him jokes. And the key is keep talking. Just keep talking. The more you talk, the less they focus on themselves, and the more they focus on you. Okay? It makes them less self-conscious, and they just start to relax, and they have a good time. So just talk, 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 talk. So I'm just talking to him. I'll say things like, oh, do you have a girlfriend? Oh, well, what I like to say a lot is I'll be like, oh, how old are you? 8? Oh, are you married? You're not married? Your mom told me you were married. What? Did you guys split up? So I'll do things like that and just start joking around with them. So with this one little boy, I'm joking around with them. I'm talking to him. We're having a great time. He's laughing. He's just eating all this up. And in between all of it, while it's happening, I go over and I just slip the vest on him as I'm still in the middle of my conversation with him. And he doesn't even realize what's happening. And I still keep talking, and I back up, and I continue taking my pictures. And the mom's standing behind me, and she goes, I can't even believe he's wearing that thing. I said, it's all in your approach. Parents, I think they put a lot of pressure on the kids. Like, we're going to meet up with Miss Gretchen, and you better behave, and blah, 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 And I tell them at the consult, please don't make it a big deal. Tell them, we're going to meet our friend Gretchen at the park, and we're going to go have some fun. She's going to take some pictures of us, and then we're going to go out to dinner, and we're going to have a good time. Keep it really easy, because if you build it up, and they know that this is a huge deal, then that it puts more pressure on them, and it also lets them know their power. Because let's admit it, the kids have all the power in this situation, right? We don't want them to know that. So I always tell parents, just keep it light, just make it like it's not a big deal, and, let me do my thing. So my suggestion is, if you get kids who are just coming off of a nap, first of all, if they're little kids, back off at first, let them warm up to you. So there's nothing worse than, you've just woken up and now you've got this stranger like, hi, you want some candy? So you want to back off, give them some time to warm up to you. Start little conversations with them. Don't get too much in their personal space, and you'll see them start to come alive and start to, have a good time. Now, you want to know kids' triggers, okay? And this is another reason why consultations are so important. Every kid has triggers, things that get them going, get them rolling, and things that turn them off. And so parents always know this. Like, I know with my son, and again, he's special needs, so this is really, really important if you've got families with special needs kids. My son, because he has autism, everything's white and black. There is no gray. He doesn't understand like abstract concepts. So if you start teasing and saying things like, so are you married? You're going to lose him. He's going to be upset, and he's gone. And it's going to take 10 minutes to bring him back around. With my son, what gets him rolling is potty humor. Any mention of a fart, anything, you got him. He's yours. He's dying. He's having a blast. I even have a little fart noisemaker. Whoops. Right? How cool is that? If you have boys, and you want to ask parents too, like, at the consult, like, hey, is it okay if I, make fart jokes? Are you going to be okay with that? People are like, go for it. I don't care. So, anyways, know their triggers. So with my son, like, seriously, every portrait that we've done with my son involves potty jokes or a fart sound. Where did I get that? It's called Sound Machine, and I probably picked it up at Cost Plus. I just find stuff along the way. I've got another one that I know was from Cost Plus. It's a little like megaphone, and it distorts your voice to sound like a robot or an old man. So you can be like, "Hey, sound." So that's kind of fun. Oh, real quick, because I forgot when I was talking about babies, because I didn't look at my notes. Sorry. Another great thing for babies. So if I've got a baby and they're sitting on a backdrop, like a blanket backdrop that's coming down and they're sitting on it, a really fun thing that will get them rolling every time, take the edges of the blanket and just shake it like a parachute. So you're getting little air bubbles coming up and go, woo, pop the bubbles, pop, 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 pop the bubbles. And they just laugh, but it's nothing for them to grab. What they will do is they'll like put their hands down, like they flatten out the bubbles, and they'll be like, like they flatten out the air pockets. And you get the best expressions. If you're not shooting on a fabric backdrop like that, and instead you're shooting on like a fake floor or something, or a real floor, you can even use like a piece of foam core and have mom stand like next to you and just like flap the foam core down and flap it up, and it just sends like a gust of wind, and it's funny, okay? But it's nothing, again, that they want to grab. So it'll get you the expression, but it's not something that they're going to grab, okay? All right, another thing you have to have is you have to have a repertoire of jokes, goofy kid jokes, like just funny stuff, and you have to be throwing them out all the time. Corny stuff, like, I'll run over and, photo shoot involves a lot of running back and forth, running over, adjusting something, running back, Every time I run over, I want to say something funny, so I'll run over, I'll be like, hey, why do gorillas have big noses? Because they have big fingers, and then I'll run back. Like silly stuff like that they just think, oh my God, she's just ridiculous, and it's funny. But so what I did for you guys, because I like to give away freebies when I can, is I did put together a little PDF of the funniest little jokes that usually get me the best laughs that you can download and just keep on your phone and memorize them. But you can keep them on your phone and reference them, just silly, stupid little jokes, but kids think they're funny. So if you want that, I made a little bit.ly link, and it's a little download. Go ahead and do a screen grab of this. I'll hold it up a little higher so it's above the comments. Do a little screen grab, and you can go over and grab that. Download it to your phone. And, don't judge. They're not the most clever jokes, but they're funny. And I listed the ones that the kids tend to laugh at the most, okay? And they're easy, just easy stuff to remember. All right? Okay. Like, I didn't list this one, but this was another one that we do a lot, is the interrupting cow one. You all know that if you have kids, right? Knock, knock, who's there? Interrupting cow, moo! You interrupt them with a moo. I didn't put on the list because it's too hard to write out, because you have to say moo while they're saying interrupting cow who. But anyways, it's getting a little old. Like, now the kids are like, yeah, lady, we know that one. So I've stopped using it a while ago. But anyways, but download those, and, look up some other ones if you need to, whatever. But just have stuff like that ready that you can, pull out of your hat and, keep them entertained. Okay, teenagers. I think somebody asked about teenagers. Let's talk about teenagers. That's a whole other ballgame. You can't really use your bag of tricks on them, right? And I'm not talking like 17-year-old gorgeous high school seniors, because they're easy. They love this stuff, They live for getting their picture taken. I'm talking like the awkward 15-year-old with acne, who's self-conscious, who'd rather be at home, staring at his phone. That kid, okay? That's the one that is hard, right? Okay, so what I do with teenagers is I just level with them, and I'm really straightforward about stuff. I tell parents at the consult, look, I'm probably going to pull your kid away and photograph them by myself. Oh, the link again? Yeah, here you go. And I'll hold it up again at the end. Now, on my screen, it's backwards, but I'm assuming it's not backwards the way you guys are looking at it, right? Okay, so I will, okay, good. So I'll warn parents at the consult, and I'll say, I'm probably going to pull your kid away so I can photograph him by myself, 20 feet away or whatever, just because when kids feel like they have to perform, and I do this with the younger kids too, when kids feel like they have to perform, or that they might be, disappointing you, or that you're judging them, we're going to get totally different reactions. I need them alone so that I can just get them to connect with me and engage with me and connect with the camera and not be looking over my shoulder to see what is mom and dad doing. Okay? And so I warn them ahead of time that this is probably going to happen. And so with the teenagers, I don't even wait for something to go wrong before I pull them away. I automatically pull them away. I'll be like, okay, Kevin, come here. Let's go over here. We're going to go do your shoot now. And we'll walk off, and I'll just say to them, because usually the teenagers are not at the consultations. So I'll just say to them, all right, look, I shoot really fast. This is going to be super easy. Just give me a few minutes, and I'll be done. Is there anything that tends to bother you in photographs that you'd like me to be aware of so I can make sure to take care of it? So this is the opportunity now for them to voice something that concerns them, because they may have a concern about something like, I have bad skin, or I don't like my arms, or I don't like my hair, or there might be something that bothers them, but they don't know how to bring it up. And I want to get it out there so that I can then say, oh, honey, don't worry about that. That's all temporary stuff. Nothing that's temporary is ever going to show in your portraits. I'm going to take care of all of that. So please don't even give that a second thought. I just want you to relax and have a good time. Give me your best smiles, and we'll be done with this real fast. That way, their true expressions can come out instead of them self-consciously thinking like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. I have a big old zit on my forehead. Oh my God. I want them to realize that's all going to be retouched out. But I don't want to say that unless they bring it up as something that bothers them, because I can't assume that something that I'm noticing is something that bothers them, right? Teenagers are very delicate. You have to be very careful about what you say to them. So I'll say that. That usually, takes care of that right away. All right. So then I'll just start talking to them and I'll also say sometimes I'll just be straight up and go, hey, look, I make my living off of selling your images. If you don't love these, I can't sell them. So I'm going to make sure you look good and you love them. Okay? Deal? So just level with them. I mean, that's the truth. I don't make my money off the session fee. That $300 just pays for, my time and my husband's time and, all this stuff it takes to pull this together. I make my money off of print. So if they don't love how they look, I don't get paid. So I'm telling them the truth, but teenagers appreciate it when you just level with them. And then when we're photographing, again, I'll talk to them. So I'll ask them a lot of questions about, so what are you studying in school? What would you be doing if you weren't here right now? Just, stuff like that. What bands you into? Just easy, teenage stuff. Not a lot of joking, just, normal teenage talking stuff so that, again, they're focusing on me and not on themselves, okay? So then I'll start asking for expressions that I want, all right, I want you to give me just a little bit of a smile. That means just smile with your eyes, not a lot of teeth. All right, turn it up more. Turn it up more. All right, give me a full-on smile now. And I'll amp up my tempo as I want them to amp things up. And I will tease a little bit if I need to. Like I may say something like, seriously, that's your best smile? Don't make me get the bag of tricks out here. I'll pull out the bubbles and the puppets if I have to. Things like that just to get them laughing. The other trick that I use that's kind of silly, but it works, is I'll have them fake laugh. And I'll do this with husbands that are a little too uptight too. I'll say, all right, I want you to give me a fake laugh. I want you to go, ha, 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 ha. And they're like, come on, ha, 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 ha. And they go, ha, 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 ha. And I go, come on, keep going, ha, 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 ha. And I make them keep doing it. And after a few seconds, it turns into a real laugh because they're like, oh my God, this is so stupid. And when the real laugh happens, that's when you get the image, right? So that's a good trick. We just thought of another one for the little kids too. With little kids, I'll do things like if I feel like they're starting to freeze and they're starting to give me their fake plastic smiles, which I don't want, I want to kind of reset. I want to clear the slate. So I'll say, all right, I want you to close your eyes. Just relax. Don't open your eyes until I count to 3, okay? Not until I count to 3. You got it? Okay. 1, 2, 4. And they'll open their eyes. I go, gotcha. I didn't say 3. And they go, oh. And close them again. I go, 1, 48, 52, 4048, 9, 3. And then they'll open and I'll go, oh, great. And I'll get a bunch of shots of that. The other thing that I'll do with little kids that's a lot of fun is I'll go, okay, I want to see your mad face. Show me your mad face. And they'll go, argh. And I'll take some pictures. I'll go, oh, that's great. Give me more. Okay, now, I want you to show me your excited face like it's Christmas morning. And they'll go, oh. And I go, oh my God, that's great. And I take all those and I'll be like, okay, now show me your sad face. And they'll make a sad face. And I'll go, sadder. and they'll make a sad face, and I'll go, "That's your sad face?" And then they'll start laughing. I'll say, "Show me your muscles." And I'm taking pictures of all of this, not just the funny faces they're doing, but the in-between, because in-between is where the magic is. That's where the real laughs and the genuine expression is. But a lot of parents will buy these silly ones too. If they're doing a collection, an album, or something like that, these make a great series. They're hilarious. Okay, I think I covered all of that. Let me look and see if I forgot anything. Pez, I talked about Pez. Thanks for lots of info. Are you keeping this, or is this something new? Okay, I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel, assuming that my camera roll saves it. I have it set to automatically save to my camera roll, but when I did my my long one on networking, it didn't save, and so I wasn't able to get it on my YouTube channel. So hopefully this one will. If you have found this valuable, can you please go ahead and share it with your followers? You just push on the little guy down there, and then swipe to share. I think it's swipe this way if it's an iPhone, or swipe up if it's an Android. Share it with your friends so that they can see this as well. And if you're watching the replay, you can also share that also. Okay, you can share during the replay. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So let's see. Did I miss anything? I think that's about it. Thanks, Anna. Thanks, Liz. So basically, in a nutshell, just don't be afraid to be silly. Just, have fun with it. Sometimes I'll even tell the parents, I'll call Dad over and I'll be like, "Okay, I want you to dance behind me." He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Dance, come on, dance." And you can turn on a funny song on your iPhone, like on Pandora. You can pull up "I'm too sexy for my shirt" or whatever, and just make Dad dance. And now he's cracking up. The kids are laughing because Dad doesn't normally do stuff like this. Dads are funnier than moms, so I would always use the dads to come behind me and do things. I'll say things too, I'll be like, "Mess up my hair. Pretend like you're messing with my hair." But dads will tend to start really moving you around, and I'll be like, "Don't move me. Everything's gonna be blurry." Pretend like you're messing up my hair. Just go like this, but don't actually touch my head. So sometimes you gotta reel the dads back in, but they're hilarious. So you can really use them to your advantage. I think that is about it. Is there any other questions? I'm happy to answer any of your questions and give you more tips for a specific circumstance if you have one. So if you can't think of one now, feel free. You're welcome, Lisa. Feel free to email me or message me. Is there any way to still see the what? Oh, the networking one. No, because they only stay on Periscope for 24 hours. So if I don't have it saved to my camera roll, I can't put it on YouTube. So it's gone. Sorry. I don't back focus. Sorry. But I'll do another one at some point in the future because I know that was really useful to a lot of people. I got a lot of emails about that. I know that's something that there's a shortage of conversations about, and it is really important to know how to network effectively. So I'll definitely do another one in the future. If you need to reach out, you have any questions or anything, go ahead and you can email me, Gretchen@theboutiqueportraitstudio.com. And by the way, theboutiqueportraitstudio.com is my website that has info on my courses, because I've got my IPS course that's really popular, and I've got my auction course that is a newer course, but now is a time of year that a lot of schools are starting their fundraising for the year, so it's a great time to get a system in place for that. So if you're looking to ramp that up this year, check out that course. Could you post a link to the in the Facebook page? Yeah, I'll post that in our Facebook page, absolutely. Here it is again for those that are not in our Facebook group. So if you want to screenshot that and go download that, you're welcome. Do I have to have my face in there? I'd really rather not be in your screen grab. All right. So again, kids are a lot of fun. And oh, good, Anna. I'm glad. I just did the interrupting cow joke with my kid. He loved it. My favorite is the gorilla one. Hey, why do gorillas have big noses? Because they have big fingers. They just think that's. Some kids have to think about it for a minute, and they're like, oh. So it's just funny. And some of the jokes, my 15-year-old said, oh, that's lame to someone, but she's 15. She's in high school, So, anyways, good luck with this, you guys. I hope that gives you a little bit of inspiration for your next shoot and gives you some tools that you can use. And again, any questions or if there's a specific situation that you'd like some help with, feel free to email me anytime. Gretchen at theboutiqueportraitstudio.com.